almost like breaks in the reef. There'll be like veins, we call them.
Can you usually see them out, or do you gotta look at all the shit?
Tentacles.
Okay.
Look for tentacles.
Perfect. Ready?
Follow the veins. You'll see what I mean. Are we on? Yeah, we're here.
So this is a commercial lobster trip I took over to the East Coast earlier this year. I've actually been back a couple times since and just didn't do that great of a job at recording it, just because I didn't know if I was going to use the video or not. Sometimes these lobster dives are a little bit long and boring. There's not a whole lot going on but literally catching lobsters. I clipped this together, so we'll see how it goes. I think it might be somewhat entertaining, but it also might be somewhat boring to a lot. You guys will just have to let me know how it goes. That way, if I go, I plan on going on several trips next year, so it'll let me know to record or not. So as you can see, we're just using these scooters to basically cover ground and look for either a lobster out of the hole, or sometimes you just barely see the tips of the antennas. Hardly ever did we go down and actually investigate a hole. There's too many holes there that doesn't have anything in it to waste time doing that too much. You heard the guy at the beginning. He was letting me know to follow these veins. You can see the sand going in between the rock, and that's usually where your ledges are going to end up. They were in other places too. There was just little holes next to sponges and just a little hole in the rock where there wasn't any sand. So this was just covering ground over the reef and trying to catch as many as we can. This particular lobster wasn't having it with the snare. I ended up having to hand grab him, which takes quite a bit more time, and that's usually where you start getting poked and cut. I've kind of learned that it's much easier to take a little bit more time to catch them with a snare. It ends up being quicker in the long run versus having to go in and hand grab them, but some of them just, you got to. Just how it works. A lot of times I like to have a tickle stick with me. For some reason I didn't bring one this trip or any of the trips this year. I think next year it's something I'm going to start bringing with me. When I go over there, I'll do the snare and a tickle stick. It's much easier for me to walk that lobster out with a tickle stick, even when they get back in the hole. The area we were diving in was loaded up with bottles, tons and tons of old bottles, along with some newer ones. One of the guys on the boat actually collects and cleans them up, and's got some really old Coke and Pepsi bottles from the early 1900s. They look really cool. He was telling me about it and showing me some pictures, so I was trying to pick up some bottles here and there. I had no idea what they were, and it's hard to tell what it is when it's all crusty on the bottom. I ended up picking a few that I kept for the display cabinet, though. Just something else that was pretty neat. So I'm not really used to recording lobster dives, and I wasn't real prepared for it. So I had my batteries dying, and sometimes I would turn it off halfway between the dive, and I didn't really get the whole thing. This particular video, I have bits and pieces from 3 different dives, I believe, and then I have half or 3/4 of the last dive that we did that was pretty action-packed. I'm going to do that one all on its own, but this video here will have clips from 3 different dives, and I'll try to show you some boat stuff in between. That'll be this next clip. Yeah, lobsters everywhere. They're crawling all over. Up next to my gauge just to make sure too.
Yeah, it should be. It's like a tenth of a thousand.
In this clip here, you actually see me rub my snare on the ground to kind of make some noise to get this lobster to walk out of the hole a little bit. The further out you can get them, the easier it is to get that snare behind them without spooking them. Like I said, it's easier to snare them than it is to reach in and grab them. It's definitely quicker. Unrelated to this video, I had been thinking about taking some of my older videos and either, taking several and doing voiceovers on them to try to explain a little bit about them, or even, if I've got one particular dive site that I've got 3 or 4 videos on and we've done well, just put them all into one video so you guys can see what that spot produces time and time again. And just little stuff like that. You guys will have to let me know if that sounds interesting enough for you guys to rewatch an older video, 3 or 4 years old even, or if I should just stick to the new stuff. I'm asking this far into this video just because most people are already going to be off of it that aren't my normal watchers, so their opinion doesn't really matter much to me. I'm sure I'm going to let one slide here or there, but I had such a hard time with duplicate clips in this video. I've deleted a ton of them. I'm not sure how it happened or why. The program that I'm using, it's not real easy for me to find that. I actually have to watch the clip and remember each and every lobster, which kind of sucked. But I definitely have deleted at least 10 duplicate clips in this video. So I'm sure I'm going to have some extras in here. So this is a nice channel clinging crab. We don't get them in the Gulf. A lot of people down in the Keys call them a spider crab. They get them over in the Bahamas real big. They get them on the east coast of Florida pretty good size too, as I'm finding out. This is the first trip, and I've caught one every trip since I've gone. And this is probably the smallest one. I actually, to let you know how long ago this was, this crab is already mounted and on my wall in the house. But that's really why I was looking to catch it.
She did. Yeah. like I was going behind them the whole time, but I kept finding lobsters, so. Not too bad. I got a giant crab.
Yeah. I guess I'll go then.
Huh?
I guess I'll continue the line.
I don't know how much. I mean, they've got to be in front of me.
Sam God gave you the walkie?
Yeah. Right at the beginning. It ain't too bad. Yeah, there's a bunch of bottles in that one. I just don't know which ones look cool.
This last dive I didn't do particularly well on. I got a handful of keepers, but a lot of shorts. So I think I gave up on it early, and then we moved to a different area. I do have one more dive of the day that I'm going to put up in its own video. I'll probably put it up tomorrow or maybe Friday even. I'm hopefully getting this out later today, or this afternoon I should say, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to have a few more clips up here real quick, and then probably see you on the next one.
Bet I caught 7 or 8 shorts or more.
I haven't seen any eggs in a while.
I haven't seen any eggs today.
Yeah, luckily, that's the other thing you'll get. Like, every one you pull has got fucking eggs. It's so frustrating. Sometimes it gets like that. It was a few months ago like that, but I haven't seen eggs
What
in
the
the last
shit?
2 to 3 weeks.
I think I got like...
Lobsters with eggs at your side?
Yeah. Yeah, right before, or right at the beginning of season. Mostly.